Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mystic Journeys with HB and Derek. Nerd's taking the back seat on the episode today. Derek, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing really well, thank you. How you doing?
Doing pretty well. Had a pretty good day. Got a little bit of nature in me today, so that felt pretty
Nice.
good. Cool.
How's the weather out there?
Um, it's warm today. Well, I'll say warm. It was 50 degrees, so it warmed up a little bit. So I went on a bike ride.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
We're
Some
getting into the. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say some parts of the country they got some crazy snow. I was watching the news
Yeah.
earlier. Oof.
So we just got a little bit of snow, but hasn't been anything really crazy, I would say.
Yeah.
But we're getting into the chapter two of the Bhagavad Gita today. I'm excited about this. We're going to get a little bit deeper into the story, into the lore, the myth, and appreciate everybody joining in here. I'm going to get this pulled up on my phone.
Thank you.
Magic's here. Cheers, man. You're going to like this episode, dude. Cheers, everybody lurking in the chat. Here she goes. So, yeah, it's the path of self service or karma yoga. We're going to get into what that means as far as the Hindu um, spirituality is concerned. It's a great story. I got a couple clips we're going to start the show off with. We'll let a couple people get in here before we get started into those. This will kind of show everybody, you'll sum up chapter two and what it's about. I'm in a couple different little clips here.
Oh, cool.
Um, and if you guys don't know, I'll give you a little overview here. We already did the introduction video if you guys want to go back and check that out. But the Bhagavad Gita is a doctrine of universal truth and a book of moral and spiritual growth. Its message is sublime and non sectarian, and it deals with the most sacred metaphysical science. It imparts knowledge of self and answers two universal questions: who am I, and how can I lead a happy and peaceful life in this world of dualities and dilemmas? So we're in the middle of a dilemma right now. We're in the middle of a battlefield with this soldier, um, Ajuana, and he's being spoken to by a god Krishna, or the god Krishna. And I saw a Ram Dass video that talked about this today. I think it's so beautiful that people have different names for all what is one God. You can call it Krishna, you can call it God, you can call it all these different names for these different beings, Buddha or whatever, right? But they're just embodiments of God. That's what we are, right? That's what we talk about a lot on the show. I'm God and you're God, and through that um we act upon through Him. So this deals with a really heavy moral dilemma of war and fighting for justice, and where's the line between what are we fighting for, or is it worth what we're fighting for? That kind of idea. So let me go ahead and play a clip here for you guys.
I do not sympathize with your arguments. Rather, it is your duty to fight, and you have to overcome such weakness of heart. I am torn between this killing of my relatives and your desire for me to fight. I surrender to you, O Krishna. Okay, so Partha, the soul is eternal and cannot be killed. Dying in battle promotes the fighter to heavenly planets. So you should rejoice, and those persons you are about to kill will achieve superior births. However, never was there a time when I did not exist, or nor you, nor all these kings, nor in future shall any of us cease to be. Only the body perishes. Thus there is nothing to lament about. Your decision to fight is based on your desire to enjoy life with your relatives. Such a mentality keeps one bound to the material world. I now describe to you how to engage in Buddhi Yoga, work without attachment to results. By fighting this way, you will free yourself from the cycle of birth and death and become eligible to enter the kingdom of God.
All right, thoughts, opinions on that?
I think that's really deep. I mean, but you know, we're not going to find out until later. You know, that whole
The
just the body being
meaning of
temporary.
life.
yeah,
You're right.
then who knows, it's a big mystery, right?
100%. I think it makes a really great point. And you know, last time we talked about this, one thing I didn't mention that I need to mention, it's like these are my ideas, right? And these aren't even necessarily something I believe in because the four agreements are my idea, but I will fight to the end for the four agreements. The Bhagavad Gita is it's a story, it's a moral lesson, it's something I'm learning together with you guys that I've heard a lot about, a lot of good stuff from. So we're trying to extrapolate that stuff from there. And that's the same thing with what he was saying about how it's kind of like the same thing with the Vikings of Valhalla. They believe that dying in battle is an honorable thing because our soul is eternal, and that if we sacrifice doing something on this planet for good, even if it's something as horrible as war, that we can go to a place of ultimate enlightenment. And I think that's it's obviously very contradictory to our whole philosophy here about love and peace and positivity, and never extending your arm in battle or whatever you have to do, right? But that being said, I do think that there is a line, and I think that line lays way over on the other side of peace and positivity. But I do think that there is a line that exists about like keeping yourself safe and your family safe, and then the population around us safe. Because if not, savages will come and freaking ruin, take over, take what we have. So I think it's a really great concept, a great talk. And well, he finished the video about talking about how we do these without reactions to the results, which is our third agreement, doing things without expectations. So we're not doing it with the expectation of winning or losing, or whenever those things do happen to us. The four agreements teach us that it's an opportunity for us to learn that if we do lose or we win, whatever it is, it's an opportunity. What do you think, man?
Yeah. That no expectations, it can be really difficult to follow, but
Yeah,
you got to do it because it's just it's going to be lead you to problems, and disappointment. So just
yep.
whatever you do, just hope for the best, but don't have expectations and be successful or whatever, you know.
Um, to me, it's the crack in the light for this whole argument. Because if we shouldn't have expectations or make assumptions, how should we have an expectation or make assumptions that it's always okay to act in this world without harming another human being for what is the greater good? And I'm not saying that when we look through that crack in the light that we get there and we're like, okay, we don't like what we see and we disagree with it, but this is why we have these tough conversations, because it was, as long as we're adults and we're mature enough to have these conversations, I think we can get a lot of spirituality out of this. And it does what all good spiritual doctrines do. They give you the ability to take what you want from it and extract it and put it to your life. So I think it's really great.
When you're living freely, but like there's people that get sent to war, and then they can't
Correct.
have the same privileges everyone else has,
Correct. And why are those people fighting? Are those people fighting for money, or are they fighting to keep us safe? And there's a lot of argument and debate about this. And I'm not the one to debate about it because I'm not a politics guy, but I'm just here for the morals of it. Because obviously this has been a detriment to our society, and people, essentially killing other human beings and realizing that even though they don't speak our language, or, they're essentially just human, they're our brothers, our ancestors. So it's kind of a really interesting look at it. But there obviously have been situations where people have conquered lands, and all in the name of religion, for that matter, to be able to take people's lands and kill the people and burn their doctrines and all these different things. So at what point do we put down our pens and we pick up our swords? Because now they're coming, and if not, they're going to burn down the Library of Alexandria. We have to fight back,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that they weren't trying to, but I'm just saying, like, that's what we have to be prepared to do. We have to be prepared to do anything that we're willing to, unless I always talk about this. It's like they can take everything from us, but they can't take our happiness. But at a certain point, it's like they can take your happiness, because they can literally come up in your house and, murder your family and stuff. And it doesn't matter how enlightened you are. It's going to be a very difficult thing for you to deal with, because we're human beings. So it's a bigger question. What are you willing to do to keep your family and yourself safe? And I don't know. I don't know what the situation would be if somebody like tried to, like, if people came on here in boats today, tomorrow to our land and tried to take it over from us. I don't know how I would react or what I would do, what I would say. I really don't.
What are you sipping on?
Some coffee,
Uh,
some creme brulee coffee. All right, let's see here. All right. I'm just trying to see what parts I'm going to read here. There's some highlighted parts, but I'm going to read some extra parts in here as well too. So let's get into it. We're here on chapter 2, and for anyone following along, we're reading the English Revised Version. Obviously, this is written in Hindu Sanskrit, so it's been revised for us to be able to. It's been translated, if you will. All right. Chapter 2, Spiritual Knowledge. This is words from Krishna here. It says, the Supreme Lord said, "You grieve for those who are not worthy of grief." I remember we talked about this last time. And yet, speak words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither the living nor the dead. Just as a living being acquires a childhood body, a youth body, and an old age body during his life, similarly, it requires another new body after death. The wise are not deluded by this. We talked about this with the idea of the um, medicine wheel and the circle of life in the Indian culture, that you go through different periods of your life, right? You're a child, you're a young adult, you're an older adult, then you're an elder, and that's why you follow around this wheel. And you're going to notice a lot of the similarities between the Indian people and the Hindu people as well. One who thinks that spirit is a slayer and one who thinks that spirit is slain are both ignorant, because spirit neither slays nor is slain. Just as a person puts on new garments after discarding the old ones, similarly, the living entity acquires new bodies after casting away the old bodies. All beings, Ajwana, and are unmanifest, invisible to our physical eyes before and after death. They manifest between the birth and the death only. What is there to grieve about? Question mark. Whoever kills an innocent human being, it shall be regarded as if he killed the entire humanity. Treating pleasure and pain, gain and loss, and victory and defeat alike, engage yourself in your duty. By doing your duty this way, you will not incur in sin. You have control over your respective duty, but no control or claim over the results. The fruits of work should not be your only motive and should never be inactive. Do your duty to the best of your ability. Ajwana, with your mind attached to the Lord, abandoning worry and attachment to the results, and remaining calm in both success and failure. The calmness of mind is called the karma yoga. The karma yogi becomes free from both vice and virtue in this very life. Therefore, strive for karma yoga. Working for the best of one's abilities without becoming attached to the fruits of work is called the karma yoga. Being a person whose mind is unperturbed by sorrow, who does not crave pleasures, and who is completely free from attachment, fear, or anger, is called a sage of steady mind. That is beautiful. That's very much the same way of the Tao. A lot of similarities there. Restless senses. Ajwana forcibly carry away the mind of even a wise person striving for perfection, or should fix one's mind with me with loving contemplation after bringing the senses under control. One's intellect becomes steady when one's senses are under complete control, and one develops attachment to sense objects by thinking about sense objects. Desire for sense objects comes from attaching to sense objects, and anger comes from unfulfilled desires. We talked a little bit about this, about how different emotions combined together to create emotions like resentment and anger and love. Even it's usually two emotions that combine together that create one emotion, one major emotion. The mind, when controlled by roving senses, steals away the intellect as a storm takes away a boat on a sea from its destination, the spiritual shore. One attains peace with all desires dissipate within the mind without creating any mental disturbance, just as a river enters the full ocean without creating any disturbance. One who desires material objects is never peaceful. This is very much the same idea of Buddhism and Taoism. Be water, and about how if we try to chase things in our life, we end up pushing them farther away because of the disturbance of the water. The Supreme Lord said in this word, Arjuna, a twofold path of spiritual discipline has been stated by me in the path of self-knowledge, and the path of self-knowledge for the contemplative introverts, and the path of unselfish work, Siva or Karma Yoga for all others. One who controls the senses by trained and purified mind and intellect, and engages the organs of action to selfless service is superior. Human beings are bound by work that is not performed as selfless service. Therefore, becoming free from attachment to the fruits of your work, do your duty effectively as service to me. He says to Arjuna, God is pleased by the sacrifice of self-interest. The selfless philosophic work of blesses selfless persons. One who does not desire help to keep the wheel of creation in motion by sacrificial duty, who rejoices sense pleasures only, that sinful person who lives in vain. A self-realized person does not depend on anybody except God for anything. Attachments to the results by doing work without attachment, one attains supreme being. King Jacana and others attained perfection or self-realization by selfless service or karma yoga alone. You should also perform your duty with a view to guide people and for the university of welfare of society. The wise should not unsettle the minds of the ignorant who are attached to the fruits of work, but should inspire others by performing all works efficiently without attachments to the results, leading by example with no expectations. All work is done by the energy and power of nature, but due to the delusion of ignorance, people assume themselves to be the doer of this and incur sin or karmic bondage. Do your duty, delegating all work to me, and in spiritual frame of mind, free from desire, attachment, and mental grief. Likes and dislikes for sense objects remains in the senses. One should not come under control by these two, because they are indeed two major stumbling blocks on one's path of self-realization. The Supreme Lord said it is lust or intense desire for material essential pleasures born out of passion that become anger when unfulfilled. Lust is unstable and is a great devil. Know this as the enemy, as the fire covered by smoke, as a mirror by dust, and as an embryo by the aminin. Oh, I'm not saying that word right, I feel. Similarly, self-knowledgeable becomes obscured by lust. And the senses in the mind and the intellect are said to be the seat of lust. And lust by controlling the senses of the mind, and the intellect deludes a person by veiling self-knowledge. All right. Know this as the enemy, as the fire is covered by smoke, as the mirror by dust. What does that sound like? Sound like something we talked about a little bit before? Smoky mirror? Very similar. A lot of these same concepts. And you have to think that whenever somebody comes along and writes a book like Don has done with the Four Agreements, he's picking up all these inspirations from Christianity and from Taoism and from Buddhism and Hinduism and taking all the best parts of them, collaborating it into a book, and then simplifying it down to four little simple things. Because all of these commonality, if you really just had to simplify what we just read, there's so many agreements in here about doing your best, always just doing your best, no expectations, not taking things personally, being impeccable with your work. I mean, all of them are in there if you could summarize them up.
taking things personally really destroys people, and even lust. Lust is such a destroyer, and a lot of people think lust is usually sexual, but it's not. It's if you
Hunger for desire.
yeah, or you have this want for this vehicle or something. You got to get that car. I need that car. My life will change if I get that car. So you're lusting after that object. And it's consuming you. But we
Yeah,
really have to take our emotions and keep them in check. And a lot of people say the ego death, but as long as the ego is in check, it's good. We do need an ego, um, but we have to keep it in check.
yes, sir.
People that don't do that, and they lust after things, and have those uncontrolled emotions. They're missing out. They're like that boat out there in the storm, and not heading in the right direction, especially with lust, because right now it might be a car, and then in 4 months it might be a boat or a motorcycle, or you know what I mean, or a bigger apartment, or
Definitely,
what they're going
definitely.
after. It's not going to be the right thing every time, or maybe even none of the time. But if they're always pointed towards kindness, and doing things not just for themselves, but like out of um, helping others, there's the big reward in that, and then that's where a lot of the good fruits come in, because you're not putting yourself first. I mean, yeah, you got to take care of all your needs and everything, but if you're doing it out of kindness, then everything else should fall into place. And you're not going to have those storms. You know,
100%.
um, constant. I don't want to say turmoil, but constant chaos. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Living in
because
your own personal hell.
exactly.
100%. We just read that in that book about how that's what you should be doing is giving and helping your community and doing things for the greater good. But the big question here on the table is that is killing doing something for the greater good? Is it love for your family as long as you're not attached to the results of doing the thing? It's a great question. I have no idea. Again, I don't know. And I don't even know if I'd be capable of being able to bring myself to do war. Um, I mean, I've had the opportunity, like everybody else in America, at least, to be able to get into the military. Because I fall under like I have great health and all that stuff, so I could do it. But do I want
We
to
all
do it?
could.
And I
I
just
think
don't think I want to.
I think we all could if we were pushed. You know what I mean?
And
Look
that's
at
all I'm asking here is where that line is to be pushed at. How
But
far
I
do you
mean,
have to be pushed over that line?
people just snap. They lose it, even like in traffic, like I've talked about before, like road rage.
100%, man.
They left the house, they were in a happy mood, and then
Yeah,
look at this
bro.
guy, he didn't use his directional law. He thinks they're gonna let him over. Now you're wearing a badge. You're the road sheriff. You know what I mean? And then you know, well, the other guy's having a bad day too, and it ends up with someone getting hurt, or I mean, they go to war in their vehicles over something stupid, that doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, yeah, we are very emotional beings, and sometimes it can just take something really stupid to set us off. So I think
Yeah,
we are
100%.
capable. We're maybe not all of us, but most people, and even like I said, on the news you see, situations like that, and people say, "Oh, they were so nice," and I never seen any kind of behavior like that. Well, no, they just had a really bad moment, caught someone else having a really bad moment. So
Yeah,
I
man.
think you know
And those are
out
the
of
people that we pray to not run into in public because that's how we die, just going to get our groceries or going to the movie theater or going
yeah,
to a rally or something like that, right? This is how
yeah,
we end up dying. It's the
yeah.
same exact thing.
hmm So, I mean, something like that, I think is absolutely stupid and pointless, but I mean,
100%.
if you're in the theater and then someone shows up and they're wanting to do harm, that's why they showed up. Then, I would say take them out,
Because if
because
not, so many people are going to needlessly die. And you could think that you've done good because you kept people safe. And if you follow what the scripture's telling us, that you sent them to heaven. They're not going to die. Their soul's eternal. Their body has died, and they did something where they acted out of respect and love. It was like out of the line of respect and love. They acted out of hate and anger, and just like you were saying, whatever happened during their day or their childhood. And we can't let those people roam the earth, or else we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now, because it would be like, and it's two frames of mind, right? That the world is completely perfect and the world is horrible, and I crave a heart that has both, like room for both, because I want to be able to look at things and be like, you know what? Now you could go out and you could die. It's pretty, it's not astronomical odds that you can go out and get hurt by somebody, but at the same time, it's kind of a peaceful world that we can go and just go to the store and walk down the road and talk to friends. Hey, how you doing? And we can talk about our spirituality, or we can talk about psychedelics. And as much as they try to shut us down, we can still do it and not get in trouble for just talking and using our voice. It's a privileged world that we live in. And I don't think a lot of people realize that side of the coin more than, yeah, there's a lot of negative that goes on. But, and again, what are we willing to do to protect it? We talked about this with the personality types last week, and I think this really ties into what we're talking about now. It's the power of the pen is mightier than the power of the sword, versus the gardener of the better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. It's like opposite sides of the coin. Like, man, hold on, wait. Before we go to war, maybe we can write a doctrine and I can talk to these people. But if you guys remember anything about history, which I'm not a history freak, but I do know enough to know that Joseph Stalin tried to talk to Hitler to get him to call off the war, and he wouldn't do it because he was in his ways, stuck in his ways. So it just goes to show, it's like, are you just going to let those people? At that point, we've already done all the talking and all the like poetry and like beautiful things we can do to try to get a person to win their heart over, and we have to realize that this person might be damaged goods. And me and Nerdy have this talk a lot about how, everyone can change. Everyone can change, I think, but I think that some people like that just won't. They're just too far gone. They've had too much of a horrible childhood, and their past experiences have kind of programmed them to be who they are.
Hitler, he also had major like substance abuse. Like he was hooked on heroin,
Correct.
and he was giving it to his soldiers, chocolate. So I mean, they'd be able to stay awake for hours and hours and hours or days. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct.
uh, and then he had a crazy physician that was giving him all kinds of medication and stuff. So I mean, in history, I think he's a very bad example, but he's a good example of when good people stop communicating to bad people, then the bad people are just left in their bad ways, and then you get nothing. Just like you know that Kim Jong Un, um, a lot of people don't mess with him, but if the right people mess with him and is like, dude, no, don't do that, you know, um, there's a better way, then he might do better. But if everybody just ignores him, leaves them to his own devices, you know, he's not going to get better because nobody's showing him. If everybody shuns him because he's a butthead, he's going to
That's the
continue.
duality.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's the duality I mentioned here in the introduction. 100%. That's the duality. Is like, maybe there's still some hope, because this happened a lot in The Walking Dead with Negan. It turned out they needed that guy a lot, but they could have did what I said and be like, you know what, he's no good. Go ahead and murder him. But if they would have never made it out alive. But yet they kept seeing the good in him. They kept seeing the little bit of light inside of him as a human being. And I think it's a hard line to draw. I spoke about the references to the Native American culture, about how they have very much similarities. When they went to battle with people, well, not every single person, not every single tribe, but a lot of the Indian culture, they respected the dead when they went to battle with them. They honored the fact that they had to take their life, and they didn't, necessarily want to, but they did it. Same thing with we were watching the Avatar movie, the very first one. It's the same concept. Whenever they murder an animal that they have to kill it, that they honor it because it's a sacrifice for, you know,
yeah.
food, or, for them to be able to live another day. And I just think it's a difficult conversation because, you're making the argument that people are spiritual beings and we can't die anyway. So why don't we just let them kill us?
Well, it's going to end our earthly experience in a meat suit, for one.
And we're here to teach lessons and build this. We need this experience here. And to be able to prolong this thing and keep it going and keep it rolling, unless we want dinosaurs to take back over the freaking earth, we have to get together, and we do have to love where we can, and we have to take charge where we can as well, whatever that means for anyone who I don't even know what that means for me. I really don't. I really don't know where that line lays.
Well, like you already know, it's doing your best.
Yeah, 100%. In every moment. Right. So in that moment, that's all I could do is just do whatever I thought was right, and then I would try to live my life without regrets. Hopefully. And
Yeah.
hopefully a lot of people who are, soldiers or, citizen soldiers like us just doing hard things in life. I hope that whenever people do those hard things, that's how they feel. Like, just did my best, and now I can sleep at night. I wasn't exactly happy with the way it turned out, but I did what I could. Let me play another clip here.
The second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya Yoga, begins with Arjuna still overwhelmed by grief and doubt. Seeing his distress, Krishna begins to guide him, sharing profound spiritual wisdom. Krishna explains that the soul, Atman, is eternal. It cannot be destroyed by weapons, burned by fire, or harmed in any way. The body is temporary, but the soul is immortal, moving through cycles of birth and death. Krishna reminds Arjuna of his duty, dharma, as a warrior to fight for righteousness and justice. He introduces the idea of karma yoga, performing one's duties without attachment to the results. Krishna urges Arjuna to let go of fear, desire, and selfish motives, and instead act with a balanced mind. Success and failure, joy and sorrow, gain and loss, these are fleeting. A wise person remains steady and unaffected by these dualities. Krishna then explains the path to liberation, encouraging Arjuna to rise above material attachments and focus on spiritual knowledge. By living with purpose, self-control, and detachment, one can achieve inner peace and ultimate freedom, moksha. This chapter is a call to action, not just for Arjuna, but for all of us. It reminds us to face life's challenges with courage, fulfill our responsibilities with sincerity, and focus on what truly matters, the eternal soul and its journey towards self-realization.
I really do think the universe rewards us because we do things that we don't have to do. We go out of our way and we give whenever we don't have to give, and we help whenever we don't have to help. We see somebody on the side of the road and with a flat tire, like, I'm not stopping for them. Good luck. Sorry, buddy. I'm getting home. I had a long day at work. I've been there and done that, dude. I still do that now, But I do think about it, and then I think about my fourth degree and go, oh, now I have regrets because I didn't do my best. And it's little things like that, because the universe rewards us spiritually and physically and emotionally, everything, whenever we do those things that we don't have to do because we don't have to do them. Simply because we don't have to. It's taking initiative. I talked about this just yesterday with Nerdy. That's a big thing for me. It's like, don't throw that trash on the ground. And if somebody else throws it on the ground, you pick it up. Like, you saw them do it. Like, somebody has to take initiative, because this is my whole point. If we don't, our streets are going to be filled with litter. And we have to step up. We have to have superheroes in this town, police officers and firefighters, and even people like our trash people, and the people that make the world work. We have to have these people to make the sacrifices and take the initiative to do the things that nobody else wants to do. We talked about this in the way back with the keeper of the stream. Yeah, exactly right. So that's what happens whenever people do things and it goes unnoticed, is that it's holding up society in little ways that we never even thought about or knew. And as much as people want to complain about AI using up all our water, I don't see anyone focusing on the good things that people are doing and trying to support and promote and help. So everybody's got a thing that they can hate on, but yeah, we can literally go out in town and try to stop the pollution in our rivers, or try to figure out how to get fresh water from the ocean more efficiently. But yeah, we spend more time focusing on the negative things that we can't control. And that creates a negative environment in our head, just like you read in the book, because we're focusing on things that we can't control. We're having expectations on how they should go whenever we do try to control them. And we do it all attached to money, desire, and fame. We won't help out if we can't get money. We won't get on camera if we can't get famous for doing it. It's this convoluted trap that society has us locked into.
Yeah. There's a lot of people also that are, I think famous for nothing, and
Yes.
there's people that support them, but it's it's beyond my understanding. They don't interest me, but
What are they doing for us in our society? And would they be willing to sacrifice what they have and their family for the greater good whenever the shit hits the fan? So to
right.
come, you know,
Yeah.
I doubt that they would be able to, because, a perfect example of this happened in Hawaii whenever they had the wildfires. There's so many people that were rich and famous. Not to name drop any names, you guys can do the research. It's not about dropping gossip or drama, but there's people there that had homes there that weren't born there, that didn't, they just lived there. Sometimes they didn't live there full times, and they left. And whenever people came back, all the houses were burned down around them except for these people's $1 million properties. It was the only thing that was saved. It's despicable. It's disgusting. You want to keep your stuff safe, but you won't do anything to help these other people. And at what point, what point are we willing to, again, where are we drawing the line here? Like, where do we take initiative and where do we draw the line about that's too much? We've gone too far. I don't know, but I think that line always changes and flows. It's not like a stable line, and it's always different for each one of us. This is why we have the different personality types, because it's just like Nerdy talked about in the beginning with the Marvel superheroes. You have different people that are capable of doing different things for a reason. Sometimes you need a Hulk to go in there and smash some shit up and then fucking come out, and that's how you win the war. But sometimes you need somebody to be a little bit more strategic and like thought out about how they execute their, heroicism, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, them Hawaii wildfires, those are really bad, and to see all
Yeah,
those
it's
people,
disgusting.
and then it happened in California. The wildfires out there, and man, those were really bad times for a lot of people.
Yep, and it's very much the same similar situation that happens up there. It's like everybody's houses are burned down around except for these $1 million penthouses for people that they can afford to build a new house if it burned down. Like, it's just so sick, man. Like, oh man, I just can't think, because and then you have a few people, like, I will shout out the people that did help, like Jason Momoa. He's from Hawaii, so people like that have money. They go back and they help and they try to give and make sure that people are safe. But yeah, of course, all these other people who have no loyalty to those places, it's just all about what they want and what they can get. It's all about their as desire and attachment to lust and what they can get more of. Like, it's all about them trying to sacrifice themselves for the greater good. And I believe that most people in a situation of desperation will sacrifice anyone else for them over themselves. Good eye, David. It happens often. It's not always bad, not acceptable behavior. I think culture plays a big role in this topic, 100%. A lot about our programming. Damage can be healed. He was psychotic, definitely to Hitler. Meddling where you don't have to is the essence of being a hero. Go ahead.
I was just saying, thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah, cheers. Mars, I see Mars in here. Cyber's in here. David. Trent's in here. Cheers, everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you so much for y'all's input. Lust after possessions, and they will consume you. We've seen this a lot in today's society. I feel really feel for people who are gotten rich and famous and chased up to the top, because, yeah, some of them are, not great people, but some of them not really bad people, not necessarily doing anything good for society, but yeah, they got caught in that trap of like, I'm here, got all the viewers I could ever get, all the money I could ever want, but yet I don't feel complete. I don't feel happy. Why not? It's because of these things, because of that chase. The white rabbit is a great metaphor for this. And Alice in Wonderland, running and running and running, and you're never going to get where you got to be. You're always going to be late. And that's how it is whenever Bob Marley, I said that quote before, money is a number game. So if you're trying to earn money and numbers, you're never going to win, because it never stops. It's a never ending game. But you could fill your heart and your love cup up with enough love and win. Be like, oh, I got more love than I could ever need. Now I can start giving it away. That's what I talked about before. Take whatever love you need for yourself, because the universe gave it to you for you to keep your experiences through you, the things that make you happy, everything that you get physically or emotionally that are great feelings. Take that for yourself, And then whenever you start to get an abundance of those feelings and the things physically, you're like, oh crap, I don't need this. Oh, I can give this good emotion to this person and it'll make them happy because my vibe is like way excited and happy. So it's the energy that we radiate off to people and the ripples, the waves that we create, the boomerang of kindness, all these different metaphors that you can say start to curate the life around you. And one person can have a huge impact, dude. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, we're three people, and we already have a pretty big impact just amongst the three of us here on the show. Me, you, and Nerdy.
We're trying. We're trying, aren't we?
We're trying. And hopefully more and more we keep practicing more and more and doing these things without expectations and focusing on the positives and things that we can do. That's hopefully we'll keep pushing it, dude. That's really all. When I close my eyes and think about it, that's what I think about, like pushing the kindness around the world and not even realizing where it goes, being the keeper of the flames. Like I just make sure the water's clean, and I know when it goes downstream, it's clean for the people. I don't know what they do with it. I don't know how they use it or where they use it, when they use it, but I just make sure it's clean for them to use. And I act on that, and I feel like the universe rewards us for doing those things that we don't have to do. If we all did something good today, the world would be a better than you think. 100%. That's why my whole thing is, I think the number one way to fix the world that we live in, everybody has a way that they think they have. Everybody's a smart guy. They have their thing. But my thing is, I think we should focus on ourselves. Again, take our love and give it to ourselves. And then we can look to other people and start helping them. And Nerdy makes a great point that we're not all going to be completely 100%. But you definitely have to make sure you're more than halfway there before you start trying to fix everybody else. Because in helping other people, you can achieve that other half. But if you can't get there to even 50%, you're never going to be able to learn how to help anyone if you're not getting up and being motivated and doing things yourself, or if you're hating people or being negative yourself. How are you going to learn how to teach other people?
I see that. Like a easy example is on dating sites. You see some people on there, and they seem bitter, and they have issues with this person and that person, and they're expressing it in their profile or whatever, and you're like, what are you doing here? Really? I mean, if you're not happy, you're gonna find someone else and make them unhappy. I think you need to be happy with yourself first, and then you share that joy with someone else. You don't when they're like all sourpuss and like bad attitude because all these people did you wrong.
Oh
Get
yeah,
out of that.
I'm guilty of that. I still carry a little bit of that with me to this day.
Well, I mean, but you're doing your best,
It's
and
fair.
you're not recruiting other
And they're trying to
people.
blame people for my situation or my feelings or my emotions.
But you're not recruiting other people to join the stink fest, and like
Yep, 100%,
the agreement that that rumination. Well, this sucks and that sucks, and
100%.
well, I don't want that energy. Get out of here.
Well,
And
it's just like we just
you're not like that. I mean, sometimes you mention you had problems or whatever, and we
yeah,
all have problems, and they come back and
100%.
they bite us. But
Yeah, yeah,
to have that rumination all the time is what I'm talking about. But they're not doing their best. It's like, hey, read the four agreements and come back. You know, I think a
definitely.
lot of people would be a lot better off if they read the four agreements in their Bible. But
But
just
that's
stop.
just like we just read in the book. We talk about this a lot. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, and that's how this spiritual thing goes. Trying to lead people to spirituality, you cannot do it. And Pops had a great talk this morning about that. You just can't teach people. You have to sit there and listen and do your part by being the thing that people need to see.
Yep.
Flowers, whenever they walk by and they release their scent, they don't have to scream to be able to do that. They do it very subtly, and they drag your attention in. And the people that don't smell it or don't want to notice it, they're going to walk by anyway. But the people that are looking for it are going to find it because they're going to find that subtlety in that thing. This is a great example. If you try to send this to people and try to shove it down your friend's throat, probably not going to accept it. Probably not going to like it. All these topics are not. These are topics I've been talking about. Well, not the Bhagavad Gita necessarily, but all these concepts of personality types and the Indian culture, all these different things are concepts I've been talking about forever. To all my friends, and not all of them vibe with this kind of stuff. It's not their cup of tea. So I don't try to force it upon them. But I live my life and act this way, and then people see it and they go, "Oh, it's related to what you were talking about," and they start to pick up on these subtleties. So it's how you become an influence to people. Cheers, everyone. I forgot to mention to you, we're doing movie night Mondays. Um, so it's movie night Monday over on Discord. We're doing Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia. It's the peyote episode, San Pedro. So come check us out over there on Discord. Derek, um, do you want to mention about the scented
Yeah,
candle?
yeah. So I'm gonna be sending these out to people that have been supporting us. This little bag here, and it's the Mystic Men scent. I'm gonna send them out this week. They are just a couple of these little melts. You put in a little diffuser thing, and they're not really strong. I don't want them really strong because a lot of people have pets, and I've seen online like people's dogs have gotten sick from having like a strong candle, like a Yankee candle. Their dog will get sick because of it. So, I mean, these have a very nice scent. And like I said, they're not
Yes,
real
yes.
powerful. If you spark up a doob, this isn't going to cover it, but it probably should add to the ambiance and make it smell nicer.
Very cool,
Uh,
dude.
but I'm
And
just
you
gonna.
guys let us know what you think. If the flavor needs to be stronger or weaker, just let us know. And I'm
Yeah,
sure Derek will accompany.
yeah, let us know. But these will be going out in the next couple of days. I'll try to get them out tomorrow.
Okay,
And
perfect.
that's everybody that's been supporting us. I have the addresses from from the from the account. If your mailing address is different, reach out and let one of us know. And then so tomorrow's Tuesday. I'll mail them Wednesday. If I don't hear of a different address, then it's going to go to the address that we have on file from your payment. You know, uh, from there, because when you send a payment,
Okay.
it's got that address attached. So if it's different, just reach out, let us know, and we'll make sure we get it to the right place. And we really appreciate all your support. Uh, thank you so much for
Thank you guys so much.
yeah.
And then we will see you guys. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I hope everyone enjoys the scent. I think it's pretty nice. It's a
Yeah, let us
floral.
know what you think, and maybe whatever flavors that you guys want to see. This is just the first trial scent, so yeah, whatever flavors you want to see what we can do for you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, tomorrow is Bible studies, same time, 9 p.m. EST with Derek, and then Wednesday we will be getting back onto our way back Wednesday. I don't have my book here. I'd spoil the episode for you guys, but um, yeah, we'll see you for our Wednesday episode, and it's always good little nuggets in there. I'm sure it'll be something great, and if it's anything like what's been going on with the way the universe speaks to us through this book, probably relates exactly to what we've been talking about with Bhagavad Gita, or at least with the personality types or something, right? So we all tie together, and I'm sure it's something. Yeah.
And
Anything else,
there.
Derek?
Oh yeah, the riffing with HB on Thursday nights now. So that's
Yeah.
new. Be sure to check that out.
Correct.
That's a lot of fun. So we have
Yep.
Wednesday and you have Thursday night. So your dance card's full, y'all.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm adding two more shows on top of that. That's what I was telling Nuri. Is like if I already didn't have enough shows going on, yeah, I'm gonna get a schedule made up here soon. Actually, I have one of my friends working on the schedule for me, so that's gonna be riffing with HB 2 nights a week, roughing with HB, and then puffing with HB. So yeah, some two little extra shows we're gonna be doing. Yeah,
And
like I
this
was saying before, on riffing. I hope that kind of like fills in all my needs for music and nature and all that. So yeah.
and we got the sleepover. We're gonna pull off on Friday
All
night.
right. So I got a
Yeah,
full calendar this week, dude.
we're gonna you know run out of things to talk about, whatever. So if you get any ideas, anything you'd like us to talk about or cover, reach out, let us know. But
Cool.
otherwise, you're just gonna deal with our silliness and whatever we come up with, and but it should be a lot of fun. I'm trying to figure out a couple different things I can do to make it entertaining for people as well. I
Okay.
know
Sweet.
HB some things going on that he can
I
share.
might uh I might do a song or two or something like that for the people. We'll see. See what's going on.
That song that you sang before. that night. It was on the Discord. That was
Yes, sir. The hip hop one.
Yeah, you get to share
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it was one of the first songs I ever wrote. Yeah, I could do that.
maybe you
I
could
was
show
listening to a couple of them today.
maybe show the Minecraft, what's going on Minecraft. That would be
We could
pretty
do that a
cool
little bit too. Yeah, man.
in there.
Yep.
You know, we're gonna have plenty of
It'd be cool to
time.
get people to come over and play with us and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that would
So
be
yeah, we
really
got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, you guys stay tuned for Friday. Bring your PJs, and we'll be. I keep thinking in my head we'll run for anywhere from like 6 to 12 hours, so it'll be somewhere in that time frame. We'll be running for probably a good long while though. Normally our shows already just with us just talking what we talk, we could go about an hour to an hour and a half. So
Yeah.
it'll be exciting. We'll see what goes on. Yeah, and as we go along, you guys can be like, hey, do 1,000 push-ups for $20 or something like that, like all these other freaks on fucking. Hell yeah. Okay, well,
I'm not sure how many I can do now, but not 1,000. I don't even.
yeah, if I can do 100 in a row.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, man. You guys come check us out on Discord for our movie night Monday here in probably like 30 minutes. We usually start about 30 minutes after 8. My time anyway. So, yep. If you guys have any suggestions for movie night Mondays, it's part of the $5 perk on Discord. You guys can sign up at mysticjourneyschurch.org. It's free to sign up, but the $5 perk gets you the movie night Mondays and also access to our Minecraft realm, a couple other little fun perks too. And it's always great to support. This $5 goes to help us do shipping for giveaways and stuff like that as well. And I see we got a couple people left in here in the chat, so we can go ahead and do one more giveaway if we want to. If you guys want. Say yeah in the chat. Say yeah, do a giveaway.
I can do another one of
Say
these
again?
too. Or I can do another one of these. I
Perfect.
can send these out to someone in the chat if they're not a supporter. Then
Perfect. We can do it like that.
get the feedback too. You can be our little scent guinea pig.
Perfect. Cheers, Richard. What's up, buddy, man? You're here just in time, dude.
I don't have a. You're gonna have to come up with a question. I didn't even think.
Well,
of
I've just been doing random number drawings. We can do a question. But yeah, I've just been doing random. I've been clicking on my phone on a random number generator. Seems to be the simplest, easy way to do it. Sometimes people don't even want to take the giveaways, so we just skip on by. People don't want it, then can't lead a horse to water. Or you can leave a horse to water. You know what I'm trying to say. Jolie said, "Yeah, all right, you guys go ahead. Hold on, wait 1 second. Let me get ready."
How many people do a 1 through 5 or 1 through 10 or something?
Yeah, probably let's do a 1 through 10 here. I already got a number pulled up for you guys. Go ahead. What's up, Mello? How you doing?
Oh, hey, Mello. I hope your day was great.
I was just gonna say, hope you're having a good day. 1 through 10, guys. Which one is this for, me or you?
Either one. But in case you missed it, these are little mushroom wax melts. Well, I have a mushroom mold, so there are 3 different. I think 3 different ones. Or
I'm not 7.
You can throw it in your little light diffuser there. When
Just one number at a time, if you don't mind, please. Yeah, because we don't have a couple people. It's only 1 through 10. Just do one at a time. 5 people. Nope. I don't see it yet. Keep going. Cheers, Mella. Nope, don't see it yet. We'll just do this for the wax first.
And I think I could even send this to David or Mello, even though they're out of the country, because it's just one stamp. It's not like a package. You know what I mean? So
Maybe right.
If you guys
5,
want
nope.
I'll throw it in the mail. Whoever wins, make sure we have your address. If we don't, you can send it on the IG, the Mystic Journeys Church IG, or my IG if you're not on there, or on the website mysticjourneyschurch.org. And bonus points for sharing and subscribing.
100%. Good call. Yeah, you guys always hit the thumb button. I always forget to say that. 5, nope.
I know
6. Finally, Oreo
the last
got
short
it.
was silly, but I finished shaving. I finished
Like
shaving.
a Stone Cold Steve Austin thing going on right now, son.
I had a lemony snickets. You remember the other day? I just shaved and I left
Oreo
all
got it,
down here.
guys. Congratulations. Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Oreo won?
like an old man dude. Yeah,
Oreo won?
100%. Oreo got it. 100%. Congratulations. Derek will be shipping you that off. We already have your address, so you're good on that. Um, guys, we're gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna give away some supplements. It's a 10 pack. I can't say the strain. Probably albino golden teachers. Probably what they'll be. 200 milligrams. 10 pack of them. Just hit the button on it. You guys start guessing again. 1 through 10. Looking good, Derek. Looking good. That's what David says. Looking good.
Thank you, David.
Congrats, Oreo. Guys, go ahead. Wrap it up again. We're going to do some supplements now. Such a cute little mushroom melt. Thank you, Derek. Yeah, it's going to be great. Try it out. Let us know how the scent smells. Let us know if you like it. If you want to do other scents, let us know. Congratulations.
If you don't
8.
have pets, you can
Nope.
let me know. I can make them stronger. But like I said, I mean, I don't want anybody's animals getting sick because a scent thing. You know what I mean? Or a candle like that. I can make candles too. I got nice tins in these Mystic Journeys church stickers to go on the candle tins. So
Supplementary supplements. Yes, ma'am. If you guys need anything, always reach out to us, and we'll try to see if we can help you out. If you guys are in need of medicine, just let us know. We'll try to see how we can compensate you guys. No promises, but we always just try to see how we can
share the
best help people out. 100%. 4, no.
Are your supplements going to go out with a forever stamp, or are they going to be in
I
different?
mean, maybe I could, right? The last ones definitely are not because they have honey in them. So they'll have to go out in like a padded package. But
Yeah.
the new ones probably, yeah, I could do it like that.
So I can mail you a couple of these um, empty thing envelopes here, and then
With the mystics on it.
and you could throw supplements in these and put them in an envelope because it just has to weigh less than an ounce, and it will go with the one stamp. So that's why there's only 3 of these little melts in here, and it's just to give you a little sample. Yeah.
Well, I have a bunch of the bags. Do you have? Where'd you get the stickers from?
I ordered them on. I can't remember right now, and they've been emailing me like crazy.
Sticky brand, sticker mule,
Sticky brand, I believe. I usually
sticky
use sticker
brand
tool, but the sticky brand they had a promotion.
discount. I got it too. That's how I got my HB stickers. Which everybody who gets a package from me directly will have HB stickers in it.
Nice. Yeah, I like them. I got a couple of those things. That's really.
I don't see the number yet. But yeah, if I could just get the stickers with the Mystics logo on it, then I could just put them on the bags that I got already.
Yeah. I'll send some.
Bunny Whaler, the Nibbler, Daggerina. They all got S names like Shallow Water. Oh my gosh.
They had the cutest bunnies. I seen that video that you shared.
Mellow. Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier.
One. I had a couple fluffy bunnies.
Yeah, but I used to have a bunch of them. Not a bunch of them, but a few of them. 4 or 5 of them as a kid.
I think Mello's trying to have a bunch of them, right?
They're adorable.
Yeah.
I like pets with like human names. I'll be naming them like on Minecraft we found Oxalotl and I named him Carlton. So it'd be like that. Yeah. Or I got Rufus. I named my alpaca Rufus. No, I don't see. Oh, yep, Mello got it. Mello, um, because you're in Jamaica, you can choose to gift it to someone, but it's number 9.
I can send you some of these, Mello, if you want. I
That's a
can
great
send
idea.
you- and
We can do that. We can swap, but you could still, yeah, you can still recommend to give it to someone. Yeah, do it just like that if you want. Yeah, I said I want a meerkat, but I would settle for a ferret. I love ferrets. Like if I could get an animal that's not a dog, I'd probably get a ferret. They're just like such little crackhead creatures. I fucking love them, dude.
They do seem really cool. The only thing I hear bad about them is like people will say they stink like pee, but I
Yeah,
think
people say that, but I mean that's
they're not
crazy.
bathed enough. I mean, I
Yeah,
think any animal's gonna stink if you don't bathe it often enough. So I don't think that's a legitimate gripe or something about them.
yeah, 100%.
They do look really cool. They seem like really cool critters. And yeah, I think
My
it'd be
grandma
fun.
used to have some.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whenever I was a kid, that was the first thing I went. Like I'm going to check out the ferrets, dude. They are so fucking good. They love attention, dude. They're not
Yeah.
like rats. Rats are kind of temperamental, especially if you don't mess with them very often. But ferrets, they love humans.
Oh, yeah. You gotta constantly give the rat
Oreo.
attention, or they're gonna bite you.
Okay, I could do that. Melon wants to give them to Oreo. Oreo, if you want them, I can give them to you. And thank you guys so much for playing. Next time maybe we'll do some questions or something. It just makes it really simple just to do the number game, especially when we have so few viewers. And as long as you guys are coming back, it usually gives everyone a great chance to win at least one giveaway a month or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty great odds.
And Oreo's been doing really good, so someone's gonna break her streak.
100%, because her Anthony's right up there, man. A couple people have got a few packages from us.
I gotta send her some money so she can buy me a lottery ticket.
But yeah, that's my whole point about that's what our $5. If you sign up on Mystic Journeys and get our basic membership for $5 a month, it just helps us be able to give stuff like that,
Yeah.
because it's just covering the cost of shipping for these packages. But if we can do it like Derek was saying, hopefully we can eliminate that cost altogether and use that money to put back to the church to be able to fund mycology stuff for giveaways. So
Yeah.
appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next. We'll see you tomorrow actually for Derek's Bible studies. And remember for Friday for our sleepover, you guys pack your sleeping bags and fucking get some snacks ready and shit, and come hang out with us. See if we can get 100 viewers or something crazy.
Well, that'd be something. Or even 10. 10 would still be fun. We can have a lot
Yeah.
of fun with 10 people. Absolutely.
No kidding, man.
We can brainstorm a lot of different ideas. We can have fun. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be.
All right. Sweet. If you guys got any questions for us, drop it in the chat. You can also reach us over on Discord, on Mystic Journeys Discord, or you can reach us on Instagram. Our link tree isn't here on Discord, or on YouTube, rather. Sorry. And you can also reach us on mysticjourneyschurch.org. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow for Bible study with Derek. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.